All right, let's be real. Sometimes your brain just feels like a messy sandwich. There's too much going on, stuff slipping out the sides, and no napkins in sight. That's where therapy comes in.
And we're not just talking about screaming into the void or trauma dumping on your sandwich artist. We're talking actual therapy with someone who knows what they're doing. And lucky for you, BetterHelp, our paid partner for this episode, makes it easy to get started.
No waiting rooms, no weird therapy office smells, just a quick questionnaire and boom. You're matched with a credentialed therapist in a couple days. And if it's not a vibe, switch it up faster than you can switch up your sandwich sauce.
So if your brain feels like a chaotic group chat, do yourself a favor, go to betterhelp.com/thinkfresh or hit the link in the description for 10% off your first month. Your future self will thank you.
What is good, my breadheads? Ty and Eric are back in the booth, coming to you live from the downtown east side of Vancouver.
That's right, baby. We are posted up, absolutely geeked off of 2 tofu Donburi bowls.
Yep. We got some little bit of like pickled things in there. A lot of rice, a bit of beet.
That's right. The Sapporo beer lunch is such an underrated play. When you and your boy consume a cumulative liter of beer at lunch.
Yeah.
Such a good feeling.
1 cup at a time, though, start with just a glass of Sapporo, then another glass, then another glass. And just like everything in life, if you work hard, you persist, you'll hit the liter mark before you know it.
It's called consistency
and persistency.
And hops.
Pouristance is what we really need, because we be pouring those glasses.
That's right. I'm no stranger to a poorhouse.
Yep, and you have been a Sapporing a lot lately, haven't you? Because we never even talked about your Sapporo experiences in Japan.
Japan, that's right.
Nippon, as I've been told.
Nippon, that's exactly it, Ty. Thank you for reminding our breadheads. We last ended the story with a long segment on the denim hot dog.
That's right. That's where we left off.
But I'm glad to have left that in the last episode.
We are beyond the denim hot dog now. We can move on with our lives.
We've now flown out of Tokyo, and we are continuing our journey, our literary journey in Sapporo now.
The Sapporo, the town. You're not deep at the bottom of a pint jug, right?
Yeah, that's right. I should specify it is the 5th largest city in Japan. And that was a special little treat, Ty. It was nice and cold. It was chilly.
Frothy.
I've been told, yeah. I've been told that it's similar weather and climate to Ireland. More on that later.
Interesting.
Sapporo
is the Ireland of the East.
Of the Orient.
Interesting.
There's probably a quote about that somewhere.
Probably.
But yeah, it was beautiful, man. It's a Japanese city that is way, way smaller than Tokyo, a little bit less crowded. The city makes more sense as a North American because the city is built on a grid.
Oh, cool.
So you can kind of find where you need to go and not turn anywhere. You just go, you only need to turn twice to get home. You know what I mean? So directions are very, very easy. So that was nice little change from Tokyo, where it's a bit of a maze and you got to take 7 trains to get home.
Right.
Which is an experience in itself.
So Sapporo is a bit more manageable for the tourist.
Yeah, definitely. And quite an amazing food scene. I'll be honest. Yeah, there's a few things that they're known for, which I'll just list off right now.
List them off for me.
One of them is seafood, obviously.
I'm familiar.
Japan is an island. Yeah. Hokkaido is an island of Japan.
An island on an island.
That's right. So it's very, very... it's got water all on all sides.
So plenty of... There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Oh, that's damn sure. So yeah, it's an island, so they got great seafood. If you go to a high-end sushi restaurant, they will likely have uni from Hokkaido.
Very cool.
Sea urchin for you non-Japanese speaking
idiots.
Breadheads. Synonymous with idiot. But yeah, it was quite good, and it's really affordable, obviously, because it's Japan. And the yen is tanking, thankfully.
So you can have as much uri as you want.
That's right. So we were able to colonize at a discount there, which is quite nice.
All colonization is happening at a discount.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
That's
never-
why they do it.
You never colonize up.
You know, it's a lot harder.
It's way harder.
It's been attempted, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to the French. They've done it a lot.
They have. Well, I don't know. You can make the argument that Vietnam is below France on the hierarchy.
Yeah, maybe socially or economically, but not in human spirit.
That's right, dude. They love their communism down there.
That's a fact. They love each other. They care very deeply about that.
Some other food that is from Hokkaido. They're known for their miso ramen.
Miso ramen.
That's right. They specialize in the miso variety of ramen, and they do a couple other things differently with that. They put corn in it, so you might get a ramen bowl with like a huge scoop of corn.
More Western influence.
That's right. And the other one is butter, dude. They'll chuck a huge hunk of butter in their ramen.
No way, dude. This is Thanksgiving ramen right here.
Honestly, yeah, dude. It tastes like a bowl of stuffing. It's so good.
It's like minestrone soup right there.
Yeah, it's incredible. And then the third thing, which, subtle foreshadowing, is their dairy. They have a lot of great dairy products. Like if you go to any grocery store there, or even a 7-Eleven, they'll have like milk products that are like sectioned off that'll be like made from Hokkaido milk or whatever. So yeah, they're very proud of it, and it honestly tastes incredible.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I'm imagining with the lower population density, once you get off that Sapporo grid and headed into the farmland, there's probably a lot more space for happy cows to make some happy milk.
Yeah, you need to be a happy cow in order to make happy milk, that's for sure.
Dude, I saw some happy cows this month. I went to in small town British Columbia. Every spring they open the barn doors and let the cows out into the meadow for the first time.
Right, they open the Dutch ovens.
Exactly. So even like the baby cattle that have never seen grass before are finally released. And I went and I attended one of these like opening ceremonies.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And the cows, they were just prancing about. They were dancing. There was like a live brass band performing. The whole town showed up for them and clapped and cheered.
That's awesome.
It's
dude.
so wholesome. Those cows are just like getting squeezed for the best milk around.
Oh, absolutely. So I know for a fact that you weren't salivating at the thought of a baby cow running out onto the field, but was there some kind of meat auction happening at the same time? Or?
Yeah, for the ones that didn't make it through the winter, their bodies will be auctioned off to support the next session.
Right. Any mad cows, or is that just from India?
Yeah, I think that's coming from out of country.
Okay. Yeah, BC grown cows don't do that. They don't get mad. They get happy.
How could you be mad when you have so much beautiful scenery, so much space too? But back to a space dense environment like Sapporo.
Yeah, I mean, very, very beautiful place. I would say miso ramen is by far the best kind of ramen. Like, I don't think it's any question.
Well, it's the only ramen where if all you had was the broth, you could still serve that as a meal.
Yeah, totally. It's its own thing. Yeah, miso soup.
Yeah.
They also have like shoyu ramen, which is like soy sauce based.
Show you these nuts.
Damn it.
Damn it.
I should have got you with that one.
Yeah, you should have. Breadheads, use that on your friend.
You can use that on your next waiter.
Yeah.
At the Japanese restaurant.
I'll have the
shoyu.
I wouldn't be able to even say it.
No, definitely not. But yeah, what else happened out there? After Sapporo Tai, we made our way to Hakone, which is a beautiful like onsen resort town, basically. It's
you get nuded up for those like onsens.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Swimwear strictly prohibited.
Prohibited.
This is not a GQ party.
Wow. You're so the dog was out.
Dogs were out, dude. However, Bay and I splurged a little bit on this trip. We did not get the public option. We got an onsen resort thing with the onsen in our room.
Oh, that's way better, because last thing you want to do is be sizing up these Japanese elders from across the sauna.
Yeah, you'll recall that I shaved my chest for no reason.
That's
now.
right. That's right.
Yeah, so we had that in our room, which was such a big upgrade. We've done the public ones before, and it's fine, but you can't really focus on how relaxing it is when you're clenching your butt cheeks the whole time. And you're scared to drop the proverbial soap.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit uncomfortable for a Westerner to strip down and hang out with the same sex, unless you're like, I don't know, like maybe if you run in ditty circles, it's fine. You're used to it.
There were a few like boy trips happening there. Like
cool.
you could tell that guys had traveling to Japan together, and they were like sitting naked next to each other in the onsen, and I just like can't see myself doing that with any of my boys. You know what I mean? That was just like a weird event.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know. They didn't like look gay, but they probably are. They did gay shit. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm all for getting naked with the boys. No homo. I just think it should be normalized, but I think you got to build yourself up to that. You know, do a few beach days, do a few other. I don't even know what activities you could do to kind of like make that environment more comfortable.
You mean before you?
Yeah,
strip
pre-onsen.
down?
Like surely there's like some like hazing or like practice sessions you could do to get there.
Right.
Maybe go for like a skinny dip together. You know, late at night.
Yeah, that's a good option. I mean, you could. I would just say getting drunk as possible.
Get as drunk as possible, and streaking. Streaking is hilarious. It's super normal. It's super straight. Like no one will question your like sexuality if you're a streaker. I think it's streakers default hetero.
If anything, it reeks of confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a specific type of arrogant confidence you only find in a hetero male.
And not the people who like hold their junk while they streak. You gotta let it swing.
Yeah. Like an elephant trunk.
So that was a great experience. It's called a ryokan. It's like a traditional Japanese inn. They're called. Ours had unlimited Sapporo beer on tap, self-serve.
What?
Yeah.
Unlimited on tap?
Yeah.
No way.
They had those like freaky looking machines that like you put your glass down and then it like tilts and it serves it perfectly for you.
Cool.
So I was loading up on like 3-4 glasses at a time, carrying them all back to my room.
I can't believe that they just got beer on tap takeaway. It makes sense. Like it's probably coming straight from the factory.
Yeah,
they just run a pipe all the way there.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, they got the sewage system and then they got the beer transportation piping system.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it was incredible, dude. I would just like do a fucking circuit, just like dip, nap, beer, dip, nap, beer, dip, nap, beer.
Nice.
Just all fucking day.
Between dipping and sipping, that's a great life.
Yeah, totally. And they fed us breakfast and dinner, and it was great times.
Well hosted up there in Sapporo.
This is in Hakone. This is a little bit further south.
Okay.
Yeah, it's closer to Tokyo.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but real quick on Sapporo before we move off of that completely, I went to the Nikka distillery. You know Nikka, Japanese whiskey.
Yes. Nikka, of course, Nikka. Damn, you were. This was an alcohol tour for you, as it usually is.
Of course, and I paid special attention to a special brew that they had there. It was called the Black Nikka Special.
Nice. There's no way that's what it was called,
dude. I have a photo of it. It was so
Black
fucking funny.
Nikka Special. Are they aware that there could be a Freudian slip with that?
Probably. But let me show you this right here.
Definitely sounds special, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. First thing I did was send it to the group chat, but look at that, dude.
Oh wow.
And not only that, but there's a white guy on the cover with a red beard.
Clearly of Irish descent.
There
we go. Ireland of the east.
Exactly. And the distillery is located there because of that exact reason. Like the creator of it learned everything he needed to know from Ireland. And then brought it back. And maybe it was Scotland, I'm not sure. Probably the same climate.
Yeah.
Learned everything about whiskey over there, came back to Japan, created his distillery. Kind of a random fact, which I thought was interesting. Used to be an apple juice company.
Really?
Because whiskey takes like 12 years to mature. So they made like apple juice for like a decade.
I guess if you like understand fluid processing and you have some time to kill,
Yeah.
why not try other things?
Yeah, they need to sell something
Yeah.
before the first batch of whiskey was ready.
I heard this is actually a huge risk with most like whiskey companies, is that because the time till first barrel matures is so long,
Mhm.
so many go out of business before they can even get to a product on the shelf.
Exactly.
It's very difficult. You need a ton of investment
Mhm.
in order to just like wait that time out.
Mhm.
Or most of these companies have to start as just like a side project by
Yeah.
a very passionate whiskey enjoyer.
Exactly it. It's exactly it.
It's really tricky. It's kind of like wine at the it is kind of the same too. Like most vineyards are just like an elderly retired couple as a passion project restored the roots and bottled a little bit and then went from there.
Yeah, totally. It's an amazing thing because like you also need a ton of space to do it and like infrastructure if you want to create it at scale. So yeah, very impressive that it was able to be pulled off in the late 1800s.
Well, they had a lot more time back then. Think about it.
Mhm.
No reels, no Zoom meetings.
Yeah, dude.
Like, these guys are just sitting around twiddling their thumbs.
That's true. I would be as passionate as them if I had unlimited time to do anything.
Dude, the only glimpse we ever get of that is like when you see a child without an iPad. And they're
Yeah.
like so bored.
And they're just like staring at the trees.
Yeah. That was everyone at one point.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, actually. So that was Sapporo and Hakone. And then I made my way over to Seoul, Korea.
Oh, wow. This is a tour to Asia right now.
Tour to Asia.
You're a global citizen.
That's right. I am planting my roots everywhere I go. I am pissing in alleyways, marking my scent.
This dog is marking his territory for sure. A true gentrifier.
I'm flicking cigarette butts into the alleyway. You know, all kinds of degenerate behavior.
Okay, so what brought you to Seoul? Why Seoul?
Because I need a soul tie.
You're finding yourself.
I'm finding my soul.
Most guys go to Southeast Asia, but you found yourself in the heart of the Seoul.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah, Seoul was interesting. Very different from Japan. Their food, Ty. Here's my take on their food. It all tastes the fucking same. No, I don't think you can pick a bad restaurant because you can go anywhere and they all use the exact same sauce, the exact same kimchi that they get in bulk.
So the bibimbap has been standardized.
Yeah, dude. If anything, it's a testament to their system. You know what I mean? It's like add kimchi, add the gochujang chili paste.
Yeah, they do love that gochujang.
The Gucci Gang sauce, as I like to call it. And yeah, it's a winning combo that you can make anything taste great in. So that's what they feed us.
Yeah, super simple, and it makes sense. That's kind of how they build their Korean cars as well. They're just like systems of parts that cheap to manufacture, accessible everywhere, and they just rip them off the line. And that's what they're doing with the Korean barbecue too.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, great food.
That's awesome.
Great people.
Any
really
Subways
friendly.
over there?
Oh, dude, thanks for reminding me.
Because like we know that Korea like features Subway a lot in its sitcoms, its soap operas, and like all these random pieces of Korean media have so many Subways as like, I don't know if Subway's sponsoring them. What did you learn? What did you discover?
Dude, there's so many Subways there. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, you just walk around and every block has one. It's almost as dense as like if you were in like Philadelphia, you know what I mean? It's like everywhere you go, there's Subway.
I like how we're assuming that Philly just has like a high concentration of sandwich shops.
One would assume.
We can only imagine.
But one kind of key difference that I noticed here is they have a McDonald's-esque self-ordering kiosk.
No way, like a big ass touchscreen.
That's right, Ty. I'm showing you one now.
Here we are.
You walk in and you can choose 6 or 12. Actually, they do metric, so it's 15 or 30 centimeters.
Oh, that doesn't have the same ring to it at all.
It's not even close. But naturally, I was like, all right, let's see what we got here. So went with the 15 centimeter.
Yeah. Dude, I love a 15 centimeter for lunch.
Yeah, dude, they have so many options here. Beef, spicy shrimp, roasted chicken, pulled pork barbecue, Subway Club, chicken teriyaki, spicy Italian, BLT, mushroom tuna. So
Beautiful.
kind of the greatest hits,
Mhm.
but obviously the spicy shrimp and the shrimp are standouts here.
Yeah, they're skewing more seafood here. Instead of a seafood medley, they're highlighting some of their I guess they're more standout
Hmm.
options. We got just the shrimpies in one of these. That's crazy to eat a shrimp po' boy from Subway.
I feel like that would be the thing to get here, though.
I think so
Like
too.
I don't know.
Traveled all that way. Why would you just get the typical
No, for
egg
sure.
mayo?
I mean, beef would probably be good.
Hmm.
Obviously, Koreans know their barbecue very well. But just for some, sense here, the spicy shrimp is $8 for one. I think
For
it's a
15 centimeter, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's a good rate. I could eat here every day for that cost.
Ty, I just scrolled down and we actually have some more.
All right. Okay. List off a few more of these Sammys.
I'll just tell you the most interesting one.
Yeah.
Cucumber 15.
Cucumber 15? Oh, that's what it's called. It's called Cucumber 15.
That's right. It's $3.
$3. It's a cucumber sandwich with ranch sauce on white bread. That sounds so fucking good, actually.
Dude, yeah. Look at how much cucumber is in that.
Dude, we got to try a cucumber 15 right after this episode.
I think we could do it. It'll be easy. We just say, I want 80 grams of cucumber.
A white bread, ranch, untoasted.
Beautiful. So yeah, that's what's offered at Subway.
What I really like about this digital ordering platform is the 15 centimeter .png sandwiches. It's pretty cool to see. They've perfectly taken a picture of every single sandwich so that you can see a plethora of toppings just kind of leaching out of the bun.
Mm-hmm.
The buns
busted open.
It's busted. The buns cannot contain all that meat.
Yeah, dude, leave it to Think Fresh to pull apart the bun and show you our meat. But yeah, dude, it's pretty amazing how they did all this food styling here. What I learned recently, though, is that food is presented better in this way, but when you wrap it and you compress all the sandwich ingredients together, you're actually creating a fusion of sorts. All the juices start interacting. The sauces mingle with the veggies. They soak into the bread. And that's what creates that deli flavor that we can't replicate at home. So I challenge you, Ty, to wrap your next sandwich at home and see if it creates a different flavor.
You got to put it through the compression chamber.
Exactly. You got to squeeze that thing.
Dehydrate it a little bit.
Exactly.
I think you're right there. Just rinse it out like a rag before you eat it,
Maybe have base sit on it.
Kind of it just needs to be broken in a little bit before you have that first bite. That's how they do it at the way, and they do it for a reason.
You're so right. The next screen on this interface, Ty, is your bread size and toasting options and bread options. So
we got any standouts here?
I love this UI so much because it just inspires me as a UX designer to design into something like this. But check it out. You can choose 15 or 30, toasting or no toasting, and then you got your bread. Pretty much the standard affair here.
Yeah. We got the honey oat. We got the Parmesan oregano, the white. What's interesting, though, is, okay, so your toasting and not toasting options and your size, those are binary selections, meaning you have to toggle between the two, which means there has to be a default selection upon loading of this screen. I wonder what their defaults are.
I don't think it was. I think I was...
You had to tap it?
Yeah, getting really excited and I was tapping.
No, he's a quick with the fingers.
That's right. It was throwing a lot of errors at me as well.
Yeah,
I was trying to breeze through this thing to get photos.
It was just throwing Korean words in red at you.
Yeah, the staff were all looking at me while I was tapping away at the screen.
But you should be able to navigate a Subway digital menu regardless of language, because the actual transaction of information is pretty standard, which is incredible. Primitive. It's primitive, but it's also it's systematic. It's consistent.
Yeah, the only time it should ever confuse you is if you are doing something bad.
Yeah, if it showed you a picture of a fork, knife, and spoon and asked you to select one of them, you'd be like, I don't know what to do. Why do I need this?
Or if I were to ask for extra olives, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's too off menu at this point.
That's right. But let's see here, Ty. Next screen, we have the veggie selection. Cool. So you got another PNG assortment here of lettuce, tomato, cucumber, peppers,
jalapeno.png. Those look great.
I know, they're beautifully arranged that.
As much as they've done a good job of actually showing you a picture of a pile of cucumbers, I think this is the moment in the ordering process where they could have used an icon. Like you could use an icon to represent a tomato. I don't need to see the 4K tomato slice picture here.
Well, that's the actual problem with this is you can't actually see what the real tomatoes are going to look like because this screen is at the front entrance.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
you're just kind of guessing at this point. So don't sell me on this fake vision of a tomato. Just show me tomato generally.
Right. No, that's a good point.
Mhm.
Because you can't tell me, I can't get a live feed of what tomatoes are looking like.
That would be
right?
sick though if like each one of these was a webcam. This is great for the Subway mobile app too, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Every single selection is a webcam pointing down at the bucket at the restaurant you're ordering from.
Totally.
So you can see, are you getting the bottom of the barrel here? Are these things fresh?
Yeah, dude. It's kind of like the SPCA. It's like you can check in on the puppy you're going to adopt.
Exactly, yeah. The highway cam kind of vibe. Is it? What are the road conditions at this Subway?
Totally, dude. That's awesome.
It's the live feed.
A couple of notable things on this page. They recommend certain veggies and not others. So
Wait, really? Is that what that
that's what the little thumbs up
thumbs
icon.
up is with some Korean characters?
Yeah, dude. Maybe I can translate this quick, but there is a little thumbs up icon. Let's see what that says. Oh, it can't be translated.
Oh, that's fine. We can only assume.
Thanks, Apple.
It's either like loved by the artist or loved by the customer.
Yeah.
So what vegetables are the popular ones? Who's getting to sit at the popular table, and which vegetables are the uggos?
Lettuce, tomato, cucumber, peppers, onions.
Those are the all-stars?
That's the starting lineup.
Okay.
Kind of confusing description here. It says peppers can be provided as paprika or a mix of paprika.
Interesting.
The fuck does that mean?
Doesn't make any sense.
That was using Google Translate for sure.
Yeah.
There's also a select all and remove all button.
Nice.
Which is kind of nice. You can really easily run it through the garden.
You can efficiently order that sandwich. But there are so the unloved vegetables are the pickled things, right?
Pickles, olives, jalapenos.
Interesting.
Unfortunately for the pickled community. And they love
they're a persecuted group for sure.
Which is kind of strange because like kimchi is the all-time most eaten thing in Korea.
Yeah, dude.
Like every single time you sit down anywhere, you could sit down for a foot rub and they give you a bowl of kimchi.
They love their pickled things over there.
Yeah, so like why aren't the fermented veggies highlighted at all?
Something about just like a good old dill is like maybe that's just American bias.
What's the dill?
What's the dill going on here?
Anyways, Ty, let's move on to sauces.
Yeah, hit me with the sauces.
This is an interesting page here. We got a lot of options, okay? We got egg mayo.
Egg mayo. That's just mayo.
Oh, sorry, that's an add-on. My bad. I went too far.
Actually, maybe at Subway there is no egg in the mayo. So I do appreciate them specifying.
Good point. Okay. Back to sauces. Truffle ranch was a big one. Heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter.
It's the first one.
I would love to put that on my sandwich. There is an abysmal lack of mushrooms on the Subway lineup.
Embarrassing.
It's atrocious.
But the truffle ranch is coming in strong. Right after that, we got ranch and sweet onion, both of which have thumbs ups next to them. I mean, you could probably just only get those in any country and you'd be happy.
Yeah, it's more consistent than like any other fluid in any other nation. It's like Coca-Cola. It's the number one most accessible fluid on the planet. Then maybe water and then sweet onion sauce.
Yeah, beer is coming before water in some countries.
I think so, yeah.
We got mayo, sweet chili, smoky barbecue, hot chili, honey mustard, Southwest Chipotle, which looks like it's using the wrong asset. That does not look like Southwest
Chipotle. It looks like more like honey mustard.
It does, yeah. Horseradish, quite nice.
Horseradish sauce?
That's right, dude. Creamy.
Oh, no kidding. But with some spunk.
Mustard, olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt, pepper.
Classic. Cool. So they're not too freaky down there with the fluids. Nothing soy first. No soy primary sauces. Interesting.
Right. No sesame.
No sesame primary, yeah.
No like Korean specialty either.
Yeah,
they didn't really specify whether the sweet chili or the hot chili were using the proprietary Gucci Gang sauce.
Yeah, the Gucci Gang sauce, which tells me that Subway, even though it's plentiful in Korea, it's abundant, it hasn't really integrated correctly. It hasn't completed the immigration process.
That's true. Yeah, it's still trying to get its visa stamped.
Exactly.
Okay, one really bad thing about this page, Ty. They hard limit you to 3 sauces.
What?
Yeah. You can't get more than 3. And salt and pepper are counting as different sauces.
So if you want salt and pepper, you are limited to one more option.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's not as free of a country as some other
Definitely not.
Subway strongholds.
I'm starting to understand why North Korea is defected.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, that's the...
Wait, hold up. Do you think there's a Subway in North Korea? Do they have any
hell
fast?
no.
I'm
Are
asking,
you kidding me?
is there any fast food chains there? Have
I don't
anybody
think they
broken
have
in?
the ability to buy things. Even.
North Korea. I'm just quickly double checking that. You are correct. Not a single international food chain has never made it into North Korean territory. But they do have something called Samtaesong, which is a North Korean variation of McDonald's, but it is domestically created.
Of course. Their whole vibe is domestically, self-reliance.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's the whole point of them existing.
Mm-hmm. They have a real DIY culture up there.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the status. I don't know, Ty. Is this a demilitarized zone here? The Subway, because can't get more than 3 sauces. I don't know.
Yeah. I would be there would be an uprising if I was there.
Anyways, moving on to the add-ons, we got egg mayo, like I said, pepperoni, bacon, avocado omelet.
You can add an omelet to your sandwich. That seems
right.
insane.
For $4, you can get 2 omelet. It says
2 omelets in your. Actually, you know how like Subway has the egg bricks? It's like a patty of egg that's typically reserved for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I always have this intrusive thought where I think I would love to just like slide one of those in with the rest of my lunch. A little added protein.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know. I would challenge you to consider the egg slice instead.
Oh, even better.
Sliced eggs.
Yeah, way more biteable.
Mm-hmm, totally. You also get double meat, which is great, great option. And that's it, Ty. That's the spicy Italian that I created for myself and did not convert with at the Subway.
You just messed around with the UI and then dipped out.
That's
kind of
right.
like every time we use the the Range Rover car builder.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when you like leave a funny YouTube video on at the Apple Store. Like that's what I did, but at Subway. I left the most insane sandwich order.
Tap around and then exit.
Yeah. So yeah,
you're window shopping, but you're doing it via a Windows browser.
Exactly. So I was able to create a sandwich. But yeah, that's my experience.
Wow. So they really are Subway pilled over there. That's awesome. I'm glad that it isn't just like media brainwashing me. It's actually the truth.
No, exactly. But yeah, Korea was good. One thing is like it's impossible to navigate. Like as a foreigner, it's just I use like 4 different apps to like figure out where I'm going at any given moment. They don't use Google Maps.
Many countries, though, they have a landmark or like in Vancouver, you have mountains and the ocean. In Los Angeles, you have the Hollywood sign. There's always something to denote where it is north or west. Does Korea not have any type of mechanism to kind of loosely determine direction?
Well, there is a river running through the city.
Okay.
So that's pretty simple if you're able to... I mean, you can never see it because there's so many buildings. There's
so
also...
you can smell it, right?
Smells like kimchi. No, it's... there's also a kind of a medium-sized hill in the middle of the city with a tower on it. So usually that's like the center.
Gotcha.
The city is kind of like surrounds this like little mountain.
Cool.
But no, dude, the app scene sucks, bro. Because like they don't have anything on Google. Like Google won't even give you directions.
Well, that's because like Samsung is like the mafia down there. They control everything. Nothing's going in or out of Korea without Samsung approving of it.
No, you're totally right, dude. I couldn't even add my transit card to Apple Pay.
I'm surprised they even let you bring an Apple phone into the country. You could have been thrown in the clink for that, sent to the Korean gulag.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to bring it to North Korea, if that makes sense. consolation.
Yeah, probably not. They probably prefer you to bring an Apple device than a Samsung device. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, maybe. But yeah, Korea's a little bit funny in that way, but otherwise had a great time, dude. Like cafe culture is strong. Fourth wave coffee is like king there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, dude.
It's good to know that there are other countries that are still investing in the craftsmanship of the great beverage of coffee.
Interestingly though, Japan like doesn't really know how to make great coffee.
Mm.
Like generally speaking, obviously, like, but they will make some crazy like blend of something and it'll take you like 30 minutes. Like you'll order a drip coffee there and it'll be like, oh yeah, we can give you this, but it'll be 30 minutes.
That makes sense. I think Japan is like, they care about the details, but from a manufacturing perspective, not from just like a raw ingredient appreciation perspective, you know? Maybe tea, maybe they're tea heads over there a little bit, but I think they're more mixologists. They want to mix it up and then show you their proprietary blend.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Yeah, I think they like the European style of coffee more. And like North Korea, I mean South Korea, will embrace the like fourth wave North American version of coffee, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I feel like South Korea is probably where like they're living in the future as far as the coffee culture we're going to have today in North America, right?
Yeah.
They got the self-ordering machines, but they're done in a good way. You know, they're right, like, they're injecting all sorts of lipids and macronutrients and essences of fruit into their beverages to create fluids we've just never seen or heard of, let alone tasted.
Yeah. One freaky little cafe I went to, Ty, was kind of like school cafeteria themed.
Cool.
They love their plastic trays in Korea, I've noticed. Like everything always comes out in a plastic tray. And we ordered a couple of coffees and showed up on a plastic tray. Mine was an iced cappuccino with like tons of whipped cream and a little cherry on top. And it was like, looked like I was in Riverdale.
Real dessert shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had a fruit sandwich.
Fruit sandwich.
Yeah, dude.
So I've had sandwiches and I've had fruit. So what is a fruit? Is it just a bunch of strawberries between bread? I'm freaking out right now, actually.
Here's my order.
Oh, wow. That looks so pretty.
I know, dude. So this is a thing in Japan as well, but you can get like this like little triangle shaped white bread filled with whipped cream and sliced fruit inside. And the way they slice it, like, just look at that like line down the middle.
It's a perfect cross section. It's beautiful. I see kiwi, banana, pineapple, and strawberry. But it almost looks like I'm looking at like a PNG of banana, you know, because it's like such a perfect cross section.
Totally. And this angle makes the pineapple looks like an arrow almost.
It does.
Looks
it's
like
beautiful.
Yeah, like a loading screen or something.
Huh.
But yeah, really, really cool. And
this is such a confusing thing. It's like everything has been like cast in whipped cream in the sandwich in order to like hold it in place.
But then you bite down and it immediately like falls apart.
Yeah, I bet.
Which makes it even more impressive that you were able to cut it like this.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, how the hell fuck did
it's so architectural.
Totally.
What? Wow.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. And then here's my coffee with
a
little
cool.
cherry.
Yeah, dude, that just looks like a child's milkshake.
I felt like the smallest little kid everywhere I went because I would order something like this.
The maraschino cherry is really the cherry on top of a comical beverage.
Totally. We also got this pancake there.
What the? So, okay, I'm looking at something that just looks like a pancake got a BBL, and then it's been like, it is now the rump of it is like a podium for a perfect baseball-sized scoop of ice cream, and then believe it or not, maraschino cherry on top.
That's right.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, beautiful stuff, eh?
Yeah, that is quite something. Well, dude, they got food plating over there. You know, like food plating in North America is not as important. You know, we're not getting that type of integrity in our Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, the food presentation there, dude, is like in a different stratosphere. Like they really take it seriously, and they go into like almost an art form kind of way. It's like, this is no longer food; it's an art piece. Places here try to do that, but it doesn't even come close to what they do in Japan and in Korea.
No, and when they do it over here, it's always like people hate on it for doing so. You know?
Because they don't do it right.
I think so. But also, like, I think there's an important quality of North American food that is like people want the food to have this like natural attribute to it. So even if you're trying to plate it, you want to plate it in a way that has this like
Mhm.
organic, free flowing kind of presence on the plate. You don't want it. You don't want to pursue too much symmetry. You don't want to pursue too much like I want to say like architectural structuring,
Dude, you're
because
so right.
people will just, it'll give people the ick. They want their food to feel like it just came from the earth and just effortlessly presented itself. So
That
it's
is
like,
actually a brilliant observation, Ty.
Mhm,
I think you're actually right on the money, because I think we're ultra paranoid here in North America about our food being like deadly,
processed, yeah.
processed, and like slowly killing us.
Mhm.
So when something looks too artificially put together, we immediately get the ick.
Mhm.
But in Japan and I guess Asia in general, they don't really have that fear. They're kind of like, well, the pollution's going to kill us first.
They have bigger problems than what's going
Yeah.
in their stomach.
Yeah, I might get like hit by a car or something on my way to work. Like the food looking like Roblox is not my problem.
Right. North Korea's been trying to nuke them for centuries.
Yeah, they're in an ongoing military conflict. So like there's literally bomb shelters everywhere in South Korea. It's
Really?
pretty crazy. Yeah.
That's scary. So they're like, if we can find a little bit of joy in our cubic sandwich, then we're happy.
Yeah, dude. Just bring the joy back into food by,
Yeah. No, dude, you're 100% right. Like if I sat down at a restaurant and that sandwich was presented to me here in Canada, I'd think like, what did Frito-Lay make this? Like, how did we
Yeah.
get here? I'm scared of this food.
Yeah, some big corporation is making way too much money on this like
Mhm.
artificially assembled food item.
Mhm,
You know?
100%. You're like, like deep pockets are funding this
Yeah,
business.
in some way, big pharma is profiting off of this meal.
Yeah, because it's going to make me sick, and then it's going to provide. It's telling me the sickness and the medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The antidote.
Yeah, dude. Advil and Doritos are under the same umbrella corp.
Whoa, shit.
Crazy.
Dude. Can't wait to try the new Pfizer flavor.
Yeah. I hope they come up with a kiwi mango. Mango habanero Pfizer. AstraZeneca's got the strawberry lime.
Oh, shit. Damn, the scent or the flavor wars of 2025.
Honestly, if the COVID vaxes came with like a dominant flavor profile, I think that would make selecting them way more special, because
Yeah.
they're arbitrarily picked. Like I got a
Mhm.
little Pfizer in my blood, but it'd be
Mhm.
pretty funny if it was like, it was like jalapeno lime was what I went with.
I mean, I vividly remember like being excited that I was selected for the Pfizer vaccine and not the weird Moderna one.
Yeah.
Being like, oh fuck, I don't want that like B level shit. I want the blue chip one.
Pfizer did kind of like come up fast as like the name brand one.
Yeah. I don't want the President's Choice vaccine. that might kill me. I might get a hernia later.
Yeah, I want the one that has certified blue check. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck, that was like a weird
weird
time. Dude. Holy shit. When we'd be excited about which pharmaceutical to inject in our left arm.
Yeah. Wear it as a
hell.
source of pride on. Like if you get a little Pfizer sticker after. I wish they gave us a sticker to kind of so you could proudly show which pharmaceutical conglomerate you are allegiant to.
Yeah, totally. Oh shit. Well, on that somber note, Ty, I think we should wrap up the pod here and any closing thoughts, I guess.
No, there's a lot to catch you up on, Eric. You've been out of country for so long.
Mhm.
We have a lot to discuss next episode. Pope died. There's a conclave picking the new one. You think they may have made some calls.
Yeah.
There's a lot to discuss.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Breadheads, thanks for listening as always. Ciao.
Ciao.